I am broadening my horizons, you could say, and I've come to this great new land that was discovered called the Nentir Vale. The next thing I know, I'm leaving Winter Haven, that glorious little town, and next thing I know, I'm captured by a bunch of goblins.
And then I look at him and say, "I'm not believing his story. I think we should fucking kill him right now."
All right, don't
have an uneasy vibe.
Do not. Yeah. Well, I mean, he seems
I'm playing.
He seems gentlemanly. I mean, he seems to be a proper type of elf. But he introduces himself as Alcine. I've just got to the Vale several days ago, and looky here, I'm already captured. He goes, I guess my skills are not as good as they once was, and he kind of chuckles a little bit.
Where did they capture you?
On the road, I was going to travel to I'm looking for work. I'm looking for a group, and I was just traveling down the trade road, and all I know is I'm surrounded by goblins, and what am I supposed to do? So, I mean, I just can't fight 30 goblins, so I gave up.
What a pathetic elf.
Excuse me?
Elves, they're supposed to fight. Not stand around being a chicken.
See a drow. Oh, and this is coming from the drow that was just going go team go, that was out in the hallway. I see.
Don't question my method. Or I'm gonna start throwing hot coals in there.
I see. So I sure would like to get out of here, guys. I mean,
It'll cost you 1,000 gold for the keys.
Well, obviously, he pulls his pockets out, and he has nothing, and he says, guys, I have been robbed. I don't have any of my belongings.
I said, let's let that bird out of the cage and put these two birds in it.
I kind of like the goblins. They smell a little better.
And then, Vey, you hear Splug screaming, "The key ring! The key ring! Don't forget! Let's Splug out of here!"
I'm gonna
before I left, I
pickpocket.
told him I'd be right back. That I was
I'm
gonna
gonna
come check this.
Okay.
I'm gonna lockpick the cage dumbasses in.
Okay, so, alright, you're gonna go ahead and... Alright,
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the lock.
okay, you pick the lock. Click, it pops open.
Now the goblins can go in there with him.
No, I'll let him out, Dave. I'm gonna put the two goblins in
Okay.
and let him out.
Thank you so much, my friends. You guys are most courteous. And I'll move the goblins in here. Hey, let us out of here. Hey.
Oh, Dave, if I didn't forget to mention, I do the whole pat-down search thing before I put them in there to make sure they don't have anything on them before I shove them through the door.
They have a couple small pouches. They have a couple gold apiece. So
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take that off of them.
okay. Turn your aura off as well.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, you get everybody basically finds 2 gold apiece from these 2 yippies that you're throwing in the cage.
I say that we're just letting people out now.
Oh, those foul goblins! And then he spits at one of he doesn't hit him, but he spits in the direction of the goblins, and then the goblins start to hiss a little bit.
And I say, I don't know why, but for some odd reason, this guy just seems so familiar to me.
Well, I point behind me that there's another one in here that's telling us that he knows all about these dungeons. And he wants out also.
Oh, I'll go have a chat with him.
What's his name?
He said his name was Splug.
Oh no, not Splug!
You know him?
He is a. Of course we know Splug. He is a buffoon. He is a buffoon.
I want to go ahead and get the keys off of this guy here.
All right.
Already.
Yeah, you find it on the Taskmaster on the Hobgoblin, and you find a key ring with 4 rings. Well, yeah, 4 keys on a ring. So there you go.
I'm gonna test this door to see if it's locked, and if it is locked, I'm just gonna open it. Pick this lock too.
Sure, you can try.
21.
You fail and you get poked with a needle.
And I die of poison.
No, I'm just kidding. You are able to pick the lock and... Yes, I'd like to come out.
I'm gonna stand in front of the door on purpose. And then I'm gonna say, what type of information can you give us? You have 30 seconds to come out.
I do not trust Drow. Ugh. I will talk to the lady.
How about I break your knees?
He yells, "Lady! Lady! Help!
I turn my staff into my
I am
finger.
being oppressed! I am being violated! Help!
Okay. If you don't stop screaming, I'm gonna cut your tongue out.
Help! Lady!
I guess I can see Hex go into the room.
Yeah, you see Hex step into the cell, kind of thumping his weapon on his hand as he's walking in there. That's when you really hear Splug kick it up a notch and, "Help, lady!"
Wow.
I'm going to send Boris just so I can know what's going on. But I assume he's not going to kill him. But
Hello,
I
Boris.
wanted to ask these other goblins what of Splug.
How could you assume he's not gonna kill them?
Boris is eyeing you.
I'm going to pull out. I'm gonna
Hex.
put my staff away. Then I'm gonna pull my rope out, and I'm gonna hog tie the goblin.
Hey, what's up, Tom? All right. Boris is still gazing at you, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Boris when we get back to town. I'm gonna buy him the biggest piece of cow I can find.
Talendros, what are you
Piece of
doing?
cow.
I'm actually taking this time to, what's it called? Meditate and get my encounters back while I'm listening to these conversations. Taking the 15 minutes.
And then the gentleman over here along the wall that you guys are surrounding, of course, he tells you that, the elves look much different in these new lands.
Did he look at me and just say that?
You're meditating, you don't hear that. You're in a trance,
I can
aren't
hear
you?
him.
Alright. Yeah, he's also an elf as well, so... Well, he is an elf, he's not a...
A real
He's
elf.
not an Eladrin. Yeah, he's an ELF, so...
I'm going to pull the goblin down the hallway while being hog-tied. Come, Boris.
Okay. He is screaming the entire way.
I can hear it too.
I stopped just
Goblin
about here.
screaming.
Help! And you see Hex come out with this hog-tied goblin, dragging him across the floor.
I'm gonna ask the stranger in front of me, the elf stranger in front of me, if he knows anything about this guy here that we found back in that cell.
Yes, fair warrior. And what is your name? I will tell you your name. I will tell you my name, Horsemaster, if you tell me yours. Never mind. He does ask you what your name is.
My name? Alright, so I tell him my name is Dirt the Daring.
Ah.
And I put my sword into my sheath and I offer up my hand for a handshake.
He grabs your hand. He has a very firm shake, actually, for an elf. You've shaked Talendros' hand, and his handshake is kind of wimpy compared to Alcine's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Shots
getting
fired.
softcore porn here.
And I ask him, now that you're free, what would your business be?
Like I told you, sir, I am new to this land, Dirt, and I am looking to establish a new life here in the Vale.
Okay. I nod my head. In approval.
I figured they'd be drilling him with questions.
If everyone's done, I want to ask something.
Sure.
I want to ask these goblins in there what they know of Splug and this elf that was in the cage.
Oh, well, my lady, I've already told you that these hideous creatures have captured me, and the goblins say, they're not really worried about the elf. They're mainly focused on Splug, and do not trust Splug. He will turn on you. And Splug's over there just kind of rolling around saying, "Lady! Lady!" And the whole time this is happening, Vay, so you're trying to talk to the other goblins in the cell, and he's calling out for Lady the entire time.
I start kicking him down to shut up.
And they know nothing of the elf.
The elf is someone that we captured. And hey, if I'm telling you this information, what is it for me? If I talk more, I don't want to be in this cage.
I jingle my keys. My newfound keys.
And he swipes at the keys. He tries to reach at him through the bar. And he misses.
Yoink.
Can I hear him talking over here where I am?
A little bit. Yeah, sure, you can hear him.
Okay. I'm gonna... Never mind. Just go. I changed what I wanted to do.
I look at Van, I say, well, while you're talking to Splug, you might want to find out what those other two rooms are when you're talking to these guys. Maybe we can find out what these other two rooms are that are in the hallway, the corridor, what they contain.
Both of the goblins and Splug as well. They're all saying it's a storeroom, basically all at the same time. Lots of food in there. There's food that's not even rotten in there. And there may be other things. There's more goblins as well. We'll tell you anything. We just want to get out of here.
Shut up.
Splug kicks you.
Oh, more goblins, huh?
I pick a piece of metal or something up off the table and I hit Splug with it.
Roll attack.
One second, I just had a blown moment.
Sure, roll attack. No problem.
Alright, well, I am going to... X, you have him tied up, correct?
Yeah, I just dropped the piece of metal because it was hot.
You missed Splug. As he was kicking around on the ground, he was looking up at you, bringing this hot metal rod down on him, and you missed about 2 inches from his head, and Splug just kind of freezes.
Good. Are you going to stop now?
I'm going to interject
Doesn't say anything.
grab Splug by the arm and lead him away and ask if everyone wants to search this room. I'm going to check these other doors down here with Splug entering first.
Ask him why the one with the one door has a lock on the outside of the door and not the in.
Well, he said
That is
something.
really suspicious.
He already said something about there's more of these goblins or whatever down here as well. So
Yeah, apparently there's some fat one. I'll let everyone know that there's a fat goblin
Yes,
somewhere here.
yes, lady is right. Lady is right. It's Balgron the Fat. And then the other two goblins in the cage are like, "Don't speak his name, Splug. You are so stupid. You so stupid."
Yo, cage goblin. Who is this bald dude? Who's this fat dude? And is he really a goblin?
The goblins in the cage don't say anything. They're just looking at each other. And then Splug says, Balgron the Fat. He's a fat goblin. And
You sure
he's
he's
the
not like a
leader of the
hobgoblin or
tribe.
something?
He's leader of the tribe. He is the one you want to kill. Balgron has
Cut his
much
tongue out.
riches. He's fucking helping you, Crow. I mean, goddamn. What do you want?
Everything.
I'm going to lead
Fuck.
Splug down out into the
Getting on my
hallway.
goddamn nerve. Usually I don't let it get on my nerve,
While we
but
take care
Jesus
of
Christ.
those things.
I'm gonna ask this guy if he'd like to join up with us for now. I told him I think it would probably be beneficial to him to hang out with us in the dungeon. Where maybe we could help each other out for
What's
the
up,
rest of this
anime
dungeon.
freak? How are you, sir?
No, hold on. Do you know anything of an Orcus cult here?
The two goblins in the cage say nothing. Once Balgron the Fat was called out, they basically are just looking at each other.
This dude must be that scary.
Actually, I was asking that to Alcine.
Unbelievable, Benj. I mean, goddamn.
He is? Dave, can I tell by looking at that guy what kind of class he is? Like a fighter or what?
He looks to be... He doesn't have any weapons or anything, but he doesn't... He has, like, just normal clothes on. He doesn't have any armor on or anything like that. You know, basically walking boots. It looks like maybe on his boot there could have been maybe a dagger or something. There's a couple straps down on his boot.
I say, Alcine, what's your line of business? Your
Ah.
specialty, sir.
I collect things. I'm a collector.
You dabble in the magic?
I'm actually more of a, I guess you could say, a businessman. And I have cast magic in my past. Yes, I've used magic.
What
Why do you ask?
collect? And what are your per se skill traits?
I've dabbled in many things. I've dabbled in magic. I've dabbled in some other skills, like creating locks, creating traps. I've been versed throughout my lifetime.
It sounds like someone may or may not have been a rogue at one point. But elves do a lot of things.
Elves are very knowledgeable.
Yeah, especially the white-skinned, pointy-eared ones.
Oh, you mean like him over there?
I'm talking about you, man.
So I asked Alcine if he'd like to join up with us, and maybe when we get out of this, until we get out of this dungeon, he'll have some protection, and he can help us, perhaps.
I'm sure I could find my way out. I'm not too much of an adventurer anymore. I'm more of a businessman. However, I would like to find the monetary investment. Well, my monetary belongings that I had, not my investment, but my belongings. I would like to find those before I leave this wretched place.
Oh, I hate I'm not in the room.
I say, okay, well, if you want to stick around with us for a little bit, that's fine, or if you want to leave, that's fine as well. I don't have any problem with you. You might want a weapon, though, because we've run across quite a few terrible things in this dungeon. So here, let me offer you my dagger, and I hand him my dagger.
Ah, thank you. And he takes the dagger and he spins it on his hands a couple times, and then kind of tucks it in his belt. So it looks like he's definitely quite proficient with a small type of weapon like this. He kind of just spins it around a couple times on the palm of his hand, twirls it, and then just kind of one swift move, tucks it in his belt. Just kind of winks at you.
Oh.
And then he says, you should see me in assless chaps on the table juggling balls. I'm just kidding.
Nope, you said it. Can't take it back.
Exactly,
That being
Pap.
said,
And he does thank you. He does thank you, Dirt, and he also asks Lormar for his name. And he does thank you, and he says he will compensate you for helping him, because he really didn't. He did not know the outcome, what it was going to be for him. He really thought that he was going to be shoved into one of these Iron Maidens. He says, "Yeah, that hobgoblin was vicious. He brought many other goblins and kobolds. Yes, I said kobolds. Even several humans, and tortured them in this. It was very bad. I thought I was going to be next, but they did not kill me for some reason."
Well, neither will we.
It's always good to have friends.
I turn to
Faye.
Lormar and ask if
Yes,
you
Lormar.
guys are searching that room, right?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and start searching around the room, Dave.
Lormar, what was that? 1 second, Dirt.
I asked Faye, do you speak Goblin, do you not?
I do, yeah.
In like a hushed voice. I'm gonna ask, Faye, why don't you ask the two in the cage? I'll watch this one. Go ask the two in the cage why they kept Elsine alive. Doesn't seem right that they were keeping him. I don't fully trust him.
I agree. I do want to ask him another question or two. Why don't you see if you can get Splug here, and don't let him trick you to find out what's
Splug
there
no
in this door.
trick. Splug like lady. Splug no trick. Splug promise.
I like Splug. No, I'll be right back.
And then he points to the door right behind him and he goes, "Storeroom. Lots of goods in there. The good stuff."
I tap Lormar on the shoulder and being quiet and going, "I don't like the looks of that elf in the other room. He doesn't scream. He screams something bad."
All
I
right.
agree.
Something. Yeah.
Oh, nothing, go ahead.
All right. Something I want to do, unless someone else wants to RP for a second. All right. I will come here then, and these guys are
goblins
unarmed, correct?
start
They're
sniffing in the air.
unarmed.
She must be one with the forest. She's a stinky hippie chick.
Oh, you know it, buddy.
Sorry.
I want to take these keys and I'm going to test the door and see which one actually unlocks it and pull that key off. If I can do that.
Okay. You find one. You find one of the keys, unlocks it. Click. Ah, yes, you're gonna let us out of here.
I'm going to lay it on the ground right here and ask them a couple of questions and let them know if they answer correctly. I'll leave the key when we leave.
Okay, so are you doing this in common or are you now speaking in goblin?
I will speak to them in Goblin.
Okay.
Now, I want to ask them.
Give me 1 second. I need to look at something real quick in another game.
Okay, go ahead.
1 second. I need like about 20 seconds.
Oh,
You probably know what I'm gonna do.
yeah. Which school? That's a good idea.
Alright, go ahead and speak.
Alright, I want to ask them if they can tell me where they found the elf and if there was anyone with him or what he was doing when he was captured and how far in here was he.
The goblins tell you that they found the elf on he was riding a horse. He was actually traveling at quite a quick pace, and they got him on the trade road. The goblins tell you that it looks like he was heading towards possibly Hammerfest or Fallcrest. Hammerfast, I'm sorry.
Oh, you caught him outside and brought him here.
Yes. Then
Okay.
he tried to strike a deal with the boss man, and the boss man did not like his terms, so the boss man took all of his possessions and threw him in this cage.
Okay, I'm going to leave the key there.
He was saying something about, and then one of the goblins says, "Stop!" Yeah, kind of nudges him and says, he was saying that he had great magic from another land, and he could show Balgron the Fat that." And Balgron did not believe him, and then he offered us money and riches and gems, and Balgron just took his money anyway and threw him in this cage.
Do you know where they took his money? Where it would be kept if they had it?
Two places. Either in the storeroom, but probably not because Balgron don't trust us, or it's probably in Balgron's room, Balgron's chamber. And that is all we know. We didn't know much about the elf. He doesn't look like he's from around here. He's not like your average elf from the Vale.
Okay. I want to leave the key just out of arm's reach of the goblins, but they could get it if they were a little more clever.
Yeah, if they like dislocated their shoulder, and yeah, they could do that. Yeah.
You know, took their pants off and used it as a rope or something.
They were sniffing the air. Oh, jeez. Hippie chick.
Alright, and then I want to ask Alcine one thing in common.
Yes?
Just one more question. What were you doing in these dungeons?
I wasn't doing anything in here. I was brought here against my will.
Oh. Where were you when you were captured?
As I told Dirt here, I was traveling along the trade road, and I was looking for another town. I had just left Winter Haven. I was traveling east, and all of a sudden I'm surrounded by both kobolds and goblins. And if there's 10 or 12, I might consider it a fair fight, but seeing that there was 30 to 40 of them, I weighed my odds, and I gave up.
I raise an eyebrow at that 10 to 12.
No, I've had experience in my past on fighting.
And you were traveling alone?
Yes, I came to these lands alone. Came up through the marsh.
From where did you travel? I'm
from a land far away. You've probably never heard of it. But it is along the... It's actually called Faerun. And it is a large landmass.
Alright. Well,
have you ever heard of Faerun?
I'm not sure if I would have.
You can do a... No, you haven't heard of it. I mean, it's just...
Okay.
He says, maybe I can take you there sometime and show you.
Right. I eyeball his dagger.
It's a date.
And look back at him and
then he
things.
sniffs. Or maybe not. I'm just kidding. Oh, those goddamn druids.
Alright, and I'm going to come back here to Splug. Splug, or whatever name.
Splug is thirsty.
Splug.
Splug thirsty. Splug dying.
Will Splug open that door?
Yeah. I'm all bound up, though. You need to You need to untie me here, lady. That drow, I don't like drow.